Hey guys, what's up? Julia here from Accessorize Your Life. Thank you for tuning in. I'm happy to be here with you, and I want to talk to you today about two sunscreens that are in my collection. They are melanin SPFs that I pulled for my monthly Shop My Stash. They are in my collection of Black-owned makeup or beauty brands. Now, this is an essential. Sunscreen is definitely an essential, although most of us have believed the myth that we as melanin-rich people don't need sunscreen protection. I beg your pardon, we do. Although our melanin-rich, beautiful skin produces its own bit of sun protection, it's not enough. No, it isn't, because the sun rays wreak havoc on our skin, anybody's skin. And you need to protect your skin as much as you can. Now, we never can protect our skin 100%, but we can give ourselves some protection by using a sunscreen that's made specifically for our skin type or that addresses the needs we have. If that's something you'd like to hear more about and you want to see what I have in my collection, you know what to do. Keep watching. Okay, now that you've decided to hang around, let's get into it. We know that our skin suffers from aging, discoloration, and possibly cancer if we don't protect it. And that's where sunscreen comes in. Finding a good one that has the essential ingredients, that does its job, and protects our skin. So what should we be looking for in a sunscreen? Well, I'm going to look at my notes and let you know. Sunscreen should be broad spectrum SPF. That means that a sunscreen protects against UVA and UVB rays, and it has a sun protection factor in it, and that's your SPF, and it is a rating. So you'll see that number on the package. That's the rating. SPF, that's the percentage of protection. That's that number. That's the percentage of protection you get from the sunscreen. So you're not getting full coverage even though you have a relatively high number. I think I've read where you want something between 30 and 50%. Anything after that is a waste of money because you're just paying for that higher percentage, which is not really giving you any more protection. So keep the number between 30 and 50% and you should be okay. Now I want to address broad spectrum. That protects us from both types of rays. The UVA, which protects us from aging, and UVB, which protects us from burning. Both of those are very important and you want to see that on the label. Now we want to get into the types of sunscreen. This is where you have a choice. Before, all of the things I mentioned, no compromise, no choice. You need broad spectrum and you need UVA and UVB protection. We know that. We're all on the same page, right? Let's hope so. So chemical versus mineral. Like I said, that's where you have a choice because you have to look at your skincare needs and also consider what you, or if you're concerned about environmental effects of a sunscreen. Okay, my friends, I have my specs on because I have to read from my notes. Alrighty, we're going to first look at the Black Girl Sunscreen, Make It Matte. This has an SPF of 45, and with this sunscreen, it is definitely a chemical sunscreen. A chemical sunscreen has in it oxybenzone or octocrylene or even avobenzone, or it could have a combination of these ingredients. It is usually weightless and it's usually sheer. Now with a chemical sunscreen, there are some concerns. But let's move over to the other sunscreen I have. I have Fenty. This is the Hydro Visor sunscreen. It's a SPF of 30, and it is a mineral or physical sunscreen. It protects you from UVA and UVB rays. It's water and sweat resistance, and it has no nanoparticles as the chemical sunscreen would have in it, and it's safe for children over 6 months. Now this one is about 1 fluid ounce, and let me tell you more about each of these. Now for me, if I'm applying Fenty, I know with it that it has some moisturization in it. It's a zinc oxide, so therefore it's going to give off a little color, as you can see. This one may not dissolve into the skin right away. You're going to see a little casting with this one. So it may not blend very well with your primer that you want to use after you use the sunscreen. And therefore you may get some peeling from the primer and the foundation that you want to apply over top of this. But this particular one doesn't do as bad as some I've tried. It eventually smooths into the skin, although I still see a little cast there. So again, this one is a little more moisturizing, I should say. Leaves a little cast, but it's better for sensitive skin, acne-prone skin, and reactive skin. You see that one there? Now I'm going to try on a little bit of the Make It Matte from the Black Girl sunscreen. Now this sunscreen, like I said, is broad spectrum SPF of 45. It's a gel. It's ultra sheer. You see nothing as you apply it, so therefore it just gets into the skin so easily. You don't have to do excessive manipulation to get it into your skin to blend well with your skin or anything. There it is, right into your skin. Now this one is ultra sheer, no fragrance, and water resistant. For 80 minutes it says, but you have to check the packaging and make sure that it's FDA approved, because it says it does that. So it's a chemical. It's also weightless, invisible like I said, and it layers well with makeup, with your primer and your foundation. So you have to choose what's best for you, what skincare concerns you have, and if you're concerned about the environment enough to make a choice between the two there. I'm going to put on a little bit of, let's see, should we do some foundation? I don't think I'm getting any peeling. It's blending in nicely. I see that line there, right there. And over here, I'm not getting any peeling, but I do see the line there, and it's a little lighter over here. Now let's put on a little bit of, let's use the Nisamarix. This is that water type of primer that dries the skin out some. So we're going to put some of that over top of it, right up here. And we're just going to see if anything changes. It may or may not. It just really depends on the products you use. Not all products react the same. So just patting that in some, because you're supposed to let it sit. Now prior to this, I did not have on any foundation and no primer. I just had on my serum. And of course I put on lipstick and eye makeup. So now I'm going to go in with the foundation, a stroke here and a stroke here. And let's rub it in and see if we see any peeling or anything up here. I'd say no. And over here. I think that's a no again. Let's check this out with my mirror. No peeling. Like I said, you have to check it out with the products you have, and you have to go for what you like. They're not all going to react the same way. I'm glad I have both of these in my collection, but if I had to repurchase one, it would definitely be this one. Yes, I am concerned about our environment and nanoparticles and things like that, but I don't use it every day. So I don't think I'm creating or having that bad of an effect on the environment. Yes, there is some effect, I do agree, but a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do, right? So for me right now, they both seem to be fine. But this one, like I said, is hydrating. This would not work well with me during the summer, whereas this one will work well with me all year long. I could wear this more in the winter, or if I'm not wearing makeup at all, I wouldn't be worried about this one at all. So being that it's in my collection, I purchased it, didn't know much about chemical versus mineral, even though I did a video about a year ago on sunscreens. Still, I didn't know that much about them. So now I know better. I know what I would choose when I go for a repurchase of a sunscreen, chemical versus mineral. And I know what to look for as far as my skin type and the environment. I hope this little video on the 2 different sunscreens that I have in my collection and the types of sunscreen that I have in my collection, I hope they help you out when you next purchase a sunscreen or reach for a sunscreen from your collection. If you're concerned about whether or not it's invisible, whether or not it's peeling, and whether or not it's giving you, most importantly, the protection you need against the sun rays. Okay, I'll see you next time. I hope this was helpful. Let me know down in the comments what you think of the different sunscreens and what you have in your collection. See you next time.